Hello, BookTube. I'm here to announce a reading event that's going on. Well, you could say in its second year, but it had its origins almost 4 years ago. Market Book Time with Elvis did a August of Adventure. In August would be 4 years ago this coming August. We didn't do it the second year, and then last year it was revived as Spring into Adventure, and it's to celebrate adventure fiction and adventure travel writing, that type of thing. So this year it's for April and May again. Well, we ran it a little longer, I think, last year, if memory serves, but this year it will be April and May, and we're splitting this up into 2 months, and these are sort of suggested prompts. As in April is pre 1900 adventure, so you would read a nonfiction book pre 1900s. I'm sticking to the 19th century, and an adventure book for the 1900s. And obviously, in May will be post 1900, so 20th century, even today. But mine will be 20th century. And so again, a a work of nonfiction, travel or adventure, and a work of fiction. Now, these are just guidelines. If you want to read just anything from any period that's adventure, travel, whether it be fiction or nonfiction, I'm going to attempt for April. It's this may dip into to May a little bit because of the size of the work that I'm going to read. Now, I bought it. I got this 2 volumes. I think it was sometime in late summer or early. I think it was late summer last year. And I had meant to read it, but I didn't read it. So I've held it for this event. Now it is Charles Montague Doughty's Travels in Arabia Deserta. It's 2 big volumes, and it was originally published in 1888. He lived from uh, he, um, he lived from 1843 to 1926. Now, he did these travels in the 1870s. As I say, it was published in 1888, the original work, and it was abridged in, I think, the first decade of the 20th century. That's the version that I had read originally, and I've always wanted to read the complete version here. Now, it was redone in 1921 with an introduction by T.E. Lawrence. My copies here are from 1949. I'm not going to try to count how many reprints there are. There's a lot of reprints here. Well, it's a new edition. It's the one, two. Well, see, that's the thing. It's the third printing of the new and definitive edition in 2 volumes that came out in 1936. So we'll just call it that. It's the third printing of that edition, the new edition from 1936. So it's quite hefty. It's his travels. He was a writer, traveler, a poet as well. I've not read any of his poetry. Now, we do have a group read, but besides that, I was planning to reread King Solomon's Mines by H. Rider Haggard, and I know I have a Oxford World Classics of it and a Penguin. Now, I thought I had all my Penguins and all my Oxford World Classics lined up in a row on shelves upstairs. And I figured, well, I don't need to find this. I know where it is. I can find one or the other, or both. I can't find either of them. So the only thing I could think of is that they were together, and they're still together somewhere they've been unboxed, but there's still a lot of stuff in bags that are probably just miscellaneous things. So I may or may not be able to find it in time. If not, I'll find something else, or I'll substitute our group read for the pre 1900. But we'll get to that in a moment. Now, for the 20th century, again, I'm reading two books. It is by Lorenz van der Post, and it is The Lost World of the Kalahari. This is a nice wraparound jacket. It's rough, but there you go. And it says Colonel van der Post, travel book is concerned with the people, especially near to his heart. From childhood, he had been fascinated by the Bushmen, the Aboriginal inhabitants of Africa. Now, that's what this is. This was written in 1958. This is a reprinted in so they reprinted it in the same month. So it sold really well. Now, this goes along with the sequel, The Heart of the Hunter. Now, I'm buddy reading this with Gavin at Genre Books. And this is part two. So I've got to catch up and read this one first. I have read them a long time ago, but I wanted to reread them. So that was a good excuse for it. And for the 20th century, adventure fiction is going to, well, for me, 20th century, is Lost Horizon. What a wonderful cover on this vintage. Until you get to the spine. I don't care for the red spines myself. Now, this was originally published in 1933, and the fabulous film by Frank Capra as well. That was done with Richard Coleman and other actors. Off the top of my head, I can't think of. But a fabulous film and a fabulous book, so I'm happy to reread that. Now, the group read is, see, I was able to find this. Jules Verne, Around the World in 80 Days. It's a new translation by William Butcher, and this is the Oxford World Classics. Really nice cover on that. And this is, so this was translated in 1995, so it's getting a little age. I don't know if there's a newer translation. But this edition was reissued in 2008, and I'm just looking at original date because it's originally Jules Verne in the 19th century. I don't see there's a date here somewhere, I'm sure, but I don't see the date of it. So this is the group read that we haven't decided exactly when we'll be reading this, so keep tuned to our channels and we'll let you know. Now, these there is a small group that will be co-hosts this year. Now let me pull up the list here, and Market Book Time with Elvis won't be sort of participating too much this year in this one, but I will put his link down at the bottom. Let's see here. Now we've got Debs at Rainer Read Stuff. We got Gavin at Genre Books, and we have Greg at Another Bibliophile Reads, and Randy Ray at The Literate Texan. So I'll put all their links down below. And they will be, I think Greg's is the first announcement video that's been released so far. And over the next few days, you'll see all the others should be putting up announcement videos. So yeah, so I will come back to you on the 19th century one, whether or not I can find King Solomon's Mines, or I'll find something else, or as I say, I will substitute this. And these are only guidelines. to follow. But uh, just read adventure fiction, travel fiction, or nonfiction. That's the idea for this, and it's really great that April is Sagalonng as well. So if you're going to follow along with Sagalonng, you can count it as part of Spring into Adventure as well. And I'll leave you Vin at Revenant Reads link down below, so you can go and check his announcement video for that. And then there's the others that will be part of the Sagalonng, but that will count as well if you want to double up for two events. Thank you, BookTube.